Hello and welcome to Summoned Secrets. My name is Lennox. I am a longtime Astra supporter and Phoenix Initiative member. Over the course of these recent alpha phases, I've heard endless complaints from new members that they don't understand what to do or how to get started after finally getting into the world of Vera. Well, I'm here to help, and after the recent changes to questing, there's no better time to jump in and get yourself a character ready to go. So whether you are brand new to the game or a veteran altaholic, let's jump right in and get started. As soon as you spawn in, we're going to make our way over to one of the gate watchers that has the quest marker above their head and pick up any weapons that we need. Next, we're going to head out of the Church of Seven Stars and head towards Lion's Hold. You'll see that the Welcome to Vera quest has an optional objective to kill 3 sickly goblins. We're not going to worry about that right now, but if you want to do it, it does increase the reward that the quest will give. It jumps the reward from 94 XP to 294 XP. If you do kill the goblins, you'll want to talk to Scout Hadrick there on your left. He'll upgrade your necklace. We're going to continue down the hill and come over here to speak to the official. Next, we're going to come over here and talk to Billmaster Harold. Afterwards, we're going to head north up to the Ember Spring. On the way, we're going to talk to Darlotta Featherstep and pick up Safe Fast Shore. As soon as you get the message that you've discovered the Ember Spring, you'll want to go ahead and make your way back into town. We'll head back to the official, speak to him, and finish the quest. Next, we'll go back to the Billmaster and complete his quest, getting us level 2. Next, we'll want to come speak to Jaren Umber to get a crate of node resources, and then we'll come to this poster asking us to investigate a curse around Warhelm. We'll need to speak to 5 citizens around Lion's Hold to progress this. We'll start over here with Cole Bailey. Next, we'll speak to Lenya Morley. She'll ask us to investigate where her husband is as another optional objective, but unfortunately it's bugged, so we'll just move on and speak to Ainsley. We'll jump down and come across into this house. Here we'll speak to Leo Linwood. Then our final person to talk to is going to be Furley Notfeld. Afterwards, we'll head south into town, and we're going to use the 1 silver that we got from the official to buy a map off of Zoran. Next, we'll come over and speak to the trades manager to begin Sweat of Your Brow, and we'll talk to the Arc Purifier to tell him about the rumors we heard about the Warhelm curse. Next, we'll come chop down a weathered oak, then we'll head across the bridge and we'll process that. Once that's finished processing, we'll head back to the trades manager, where he'll give us some zinc. We're going to use the timber and the zinc to craft our pickaxe. We'll head back across the bridge, and we're going to mine some granite. Back across the bridge, we'll take our freshly mined granite and turn that into some blocks. We'll give those to the trades manager where he'll ask us to gather our final ingredient, some snowdrop. Heading back south across the bridge, we're going to go ahead and process this into some snowdrop powder. After that, we're going to come over here and climb up the mountain where we're going to go do a little bit of gambling. Up here, we're going to gather a treasure map. There are 10 different treasure maps that you can get, but there's only a handful that are going to be helpful here. What we're looking for is one of the maps that's going to be on the route that we're already running. Luckily, here we got one of them on the shelf. This is about the best one you can get, but they're completely unnecessary and basically just a bonus. Next, we're going to head back into town. We're going to speak to the northern trades manager. We'll give him the snowdrop powder, then we'll head over into the stables to receive our first horse. After we have our horse, we're going to be done in Lion's Hold for a while, so we'll make our way out the north entrance and head into the ruins of Ayla. Here we're going to be checking on the dig site of the treasure map that Zorn gave us. Surprise, surprise though, it looks like we were scammed and there's nothing there for us to find, but we'll deal with Zorn later. Head across the water here. You're going to fight off some goblins quickly. And then we're going to interact with this glowing red book, which is going to ask us to find the goblin blood rune. We'll go ahead and ignore this second goblin and head over to the blood rune. We don't have to worry about getting low here. As soon as we interact with the rune, we're going to hit level 3, healing us to full. Go ahead and hop back on your horse, and we're going to get out of the ruins. On the way out of the ruins, we're going to go ahead and open our quest tab and click on the map of the blood room that we just got. And here we're going to see that there's an event. Right now, events only require that you get into the circle at any point, and then you can leave. So if you ever see any up, make a point to go stand in them. As you'll see, we just jumped to level 4. We're going to talk to the historian here in town, and then we're going to go start one of the most dangerous quests we'll do this run, because it has the potential to ruin everything. The quest is called Rebel Rousers, and it's going to have us going over to collect evidence of an uprising from the bandits here. I've found that the best mobs for dropping this are the archers, but technically any of the mobs can drop them. If there's too many people farming the central camp, then I like to go to the south region as it has the most bandits. We're going to go ahead and fight our way into the camp to see if we can find any archers. We're not really seeing any, so we'll just go ahead and start killing any of the highwaymen mobs that we can find. And as you can see, we're going to get lucky here, and our second kill is going to drop the item that we're after, the pamphlet, Our Family Fight. Once you have that, you can go ahead and head out of the bandit camp. But you'll need to make sure to open your quest tab again and just click on it. That will complete Rebel Rousers and start another quest for us. But like I said, we do not actually want to turn in Rebel Rousers at any point during this. While we're on this road, we're going to keep our eye out for some parcels for Safe Fast Shore. We'll need 6 of them in total. They do spawn in static locations and respawn every 5 minutes. So if there's no one farming them, you should get lucky and have about 4 here. Here we are going to speak to Saba El and to progress that quest and get our first 2 coins. We'll use these coins to buy gear later on, so it's very important that we take advantage of them. Next, we'll head through the graveyard and climb up this mountain. Here you'll be able to see to our right that we have the treasure map that we got lucky and picked up before. This is why I say it's one of the best ones we can possibly get, as we're climbing up this mountain anyway. So we'll hop down. We'll grab our treasure, and we'll make our way back into town. In order to not have any accidents at this point, we're going to go ahead and open up our quest menu and abandon Rebel Rousers. Once we're back into Samia's Hope, we're going to go ahead and speak to the historian, giving him the rubbing from the epitaph that we got. Next, he's going to ask us to speak to a couple of scholars to get their opinions on what we found. So we'll make our way through Samia's Hope, speaking to all 4 of them before we return to the historian. After we turn in the second quest, we're going to go ahead and head north out of Samia's Hope. We'll keep to the right here, and we're going to speak to this stranger who is asking us to look for a gravesite for them. Next, we're going to head towards Briermore Farms, but first we're going to head up to Flame and Formula, where we'll speak with the professor and tell him of the blood rune we found. Next, we'll head down into the farms themselves and complete Sweaty Your Brow. Next, we'll head north to a small island. Here we'll find the grave that we're supposed to interact with. You'll want to make sure that you interact with that and accept the next quest before finding any flowers. After we have all 6 blooms, we'll head back to the grave and turn that in. This will give us a necklace that'll give us 73 HP, which we'll definitely want later. Next we'll continue north, and we'll stop and check for a package that can be found right on this corner. Then we'll come speak with driver Evigan. He'll tell us that he wasn't able to complete some deliveries, so we'll go ahead and pick up all 6 of those for him. Then we'll make our way over into this bandit camp and pick up the 3 parts he needs to repair his carriage. We'll turn that into him and continue back towards Briermore. We're going to make our way to the stoneworks where we'll make the first of many deliveries, and then we'll go inside and purchase a full set of the copper jewelry. Afterwards, we'll make our way out, and we're going to come around here and make our second delivery. And then we'll go to the lumber mill where we're going to purchase a copper longbow or a copper long spell bow if you're a magical class. We're going to make another delivery here. There's another delivery for Briermore that we're after that I forgot to grab earlier, so we're going to come back over here. Normally we would want to grab this right after we pick up the quest from the stranger to go find the grave, but if you forget to grab it like I did, you can always just circle back. It doesn't make a big difference. We're going to ignore the quest from the scholar. We're going to pick up this crate. We'll go into our quest tab and we'll go ahead and start that delivery. We'll head back into Briermore. We'll continue on past it where we're going to go pick up a quest. We'll make our way around this mountain here, come climb up using the scaffolding. Here you want to make sure you have your HP necklace on and your health salves ready to go. We'll quickly make our way up here and get lucky that some people were already fighting here. But we're going to interact with this book and we're going to investigate the Howling Oak. Once we've done that, we'll make our way out. Once we're done there, we're going to head over to these goblin-infested ruins. We're going to want to leave our horse somewhere safe. We'll come in and interact with another rune. After we have the rune, we'll go ahead and make our way out the west entrance. We'll get to the road and continue up here. There's a lot of packages that can be on this road, so you'll want to make sure you keep your eye out. As we saw, there was just one on the left there. We're going to make our way to this tower, where we'll speak to Louis. He's going to ask us to go find his pouch and badge. We'll come down to the lake here, where we'll find his pouch laying on the shore. We'll go ahead and interact with it, find that his badge isn't there, but we will receive another health salve. We're going to go ahead and fight these goblins. Now that we have our copper jewelry and bow, the fights aren't too bad. You'll want to make sure that you only pull one at a time though, and leave your horse ready for a quick escape. Here we get lucky and get a badge on our first kill. Once you have the badge, you can go ahead and leave, but we'll have to make sure you open up your quest tab again and interact with the badge. Next we'll head up to the tower. Here we'll return Louis' badge. He has another quest for us, but we're not going to take it. Instead, we're just going to head north, where we're going to go interact with the Howling Oak. We come up on this rock and interact with the wind chime. Next we're going to head back down into Briermore. Here we're going to come and buy at least 2 full stacks of rations. Then we'll go ahead and finish off our deliveries. While we're at Sword and Flame, we'll want to make sure we speak to the professor again and turn in the sacrifice rune. I forgot to stop at it, but you'll want to stop at these crates right here and make another delivery. Now that we're done with all our deliveries, we're going to go ahead and leave Briermore. Before leaving, you'll want to make sure that you have your copper ranged weapon, a full set of copper jewelry, and 2 to 3 stacks of rations. As well, you want to make sure that you're less than 5,000 experience from hitting level 6, as the quest that we're going to turn in Lion's Hold will push us to level 6. Once we're back in Lion's Hold, we're going to go ahead and confront Zoran, tell him that he ripped us off and that we want our medallion back. Next, we'll head across the bridge and we'll speak to Sergeant Vanalis. He'll ask us to go eliminate a bandit commander for him. We'll head out the south entrance and make our way over to the Hideworks, where we'll turn in our finer delivery, grab the Ember Spring, and we're going to come over here, sell our glint again, and buy our copper greatsword or great spell sword if you are a caster. Once we have everything purchased and our safety Ember Spring picked up, we're going to head down into the bandit camps. Once you get to here, you'll want to come up and climb up this broken entrance. We're going to fight our way up to the top where the commander lives. If you hug left here, you can skip most of the mobs. Unfortunately, the commander was bugged for me at the time, so I came back later to check on it. This fight can be pretty easy now that we have all of our gear and levels set up. We're going to go ahead and start with fighting the Sighted Advisor. We're going to blow everything we can into killing him as fast as possible, as once he's dead, the commander does very little damage and we can just whittle him away. Try not to cast any large spells while he has his shield raised, and try to avoid the stuns that he'll do. After defeating him, make sure to loot the weathered scroll off his body. You'll go to your quest tab and click on it. This will begin the Slivers of the Past. We'll continue west until we reach this tower. Once we are at the tower, we'll want to fight our way up. We're going to try to avoid any of the starred mobs. If there are any blocking your path, you can go ahead and spec into some CC to try and get past them. Once you're at the very top of the tower, you'll want to make your way quickly into this room, interact with the map on the bench here, and try and get out. It's here that I'll get a spoiler and learn that the starred ghost mobs were having some kind of damage issue this day, and we'll get completely destroyed. But it's okay, we picked up our Ember Spring on the way back, and we have no glint on us since we just sold, so we're not really out anything but 800 experience that we're not really worried about. Whether you wind up having to respawn like I did or got out, you'll want to make your way to Second Sword Outpost. Once we're here, we're going to go ahead and speak to the captain. Here we'll tell him about the commander that we eliminated and the cultists that we discovered. Next, we'll head across the camp and we'll go ahead and speak with Galen. He's going to ask us to investigate some manifests and have one for us to look at. We'll go ahead and interact with it, speak to him again, and tell him that we'll go find the rest of the manifests. Next, we'll head south towards Cephalion until you reach this location. Once here, get comfortable. We're going to be fighting goblins for a while. We're going to be looking for the manifests that the goblins can drop or interacting with the chests around. During the first parts of these quests, you want to make sure that you take as much advantage of the chests as possible, as we will not be able to use them later. Once you have at least 5, you can come up here and speak to Cecil. After speaking with him, he'll want you to go and find more, but first we're going to head across the north end of Cephalion. Here we're going to speak with Scout Othar. He's going to have us investigate the 4 entrances to Cephalion. We'll go ahead and grab the first one really quick, make our way back across, and investigate the second one. Then we'll continue on south using the river to avoid any mobs. Climb back up here and grab the 3rd entrance. Usually you can take the high road here to avoid any mobs. Then we'll continue south, where we're going to find more goblins. Once here, we'll begin fighting goblins and looting chests again until we have at least 10. We'll speak to Mithra to move on to the final location. Once we get over here, we can continue grinding until we get 15 manifests. After we finally have 15, we'll go ahead and speak to Dwayne. He's going to give us the worst news we've gotten, that we need another 15 manifests, but unfortunately now we can no longer use the chests. So we'll go back to farming goblins. We're going to go ahead and keep farming them, and farming them, and farming them, until we have enough useless junk that we can no longer loot anymore, but then we'll go back to farming them. Once the RNG gods have blessed you enough to get 15 again, you're going to go ahead and head west. We'll make a quick detour back into Cephalion, where we're going to investigate the 4th entrance. After having all 4 entrances, we're going to go ahead and go back and report what we found. We'll accept the scout's next quest, giving us Slivers of the Past Part 3. We'll go ahead and make our way over here. We're going to make our way to this broken down carriage where we'll investigate this crate really quick. Then we'll head back south where we're going to get some of our first quest rewards for gear. Here is where we'll be turning in our 6 packages. Make sure that you pick the appropriate gear for the class that you're playing. I chose medium. Now we'll make our way into Newa. Once we're in Newa, we'll go ahead and speak with the storage clerk, giving him the node resources we picked up in Lion's Hold. We're going to go ahead and put anything that we're afraid to lose into our storage. Next, we'll head into the hunting lodge. Here we're going to speak with a Miguel. He's going to give us 3 more surplus tokens and ask us to go find Sweeney. We're going to go ahead and buy both of our Sanctus weapons here, plus 1 more piece. I'm actually going to advise you don't make the same mistake I do buying a cloak here, as you can get a free cloak once you're a citizen at 10. Next, we'll make our way to the top of Newa, where we're going to go ahead and talk to Marshall. We're going to give him the final piece of the Slivers of the Past questline. Then we'll head back to Cephalion. We're going to go ahead and head to this camp where we'll interact with all 3 objects. After interact with them, we'll head a little farther in and we'll find a starving mage. Speak to him and tell him that we'll pick up some food for him and start grinding the frail wolves here. They also have a low drop rate, but at least this time we only need 5. After you collect all 5 pieces of stringy wolf meat, head back to the starving mage and give him the meat. He's going to ask us to go find even more manifests, so we're going to travel to the Hornsworn Tower. This is just east of Newa. Once we're to the tower, we'll want to fight ghosts until we receive the Hornsworn key. We're going to make sure not to fight any of the 1-star mages, at least not while they're bugged, as we quickly learn here they're doing outrageous damage with 1 spell killing me. After killing enough ghosts, we'll wind up with the Hornsworn key. First, we're going to interact with the brazier on the ground floor here. We'll make our way down these stairs and jump off here, opening the first of many chests. Next, we'll make our way back up the stairs, across here, and interact with the next brazier. We'll go ahead and jump down, coming up on a room full of skeletons. You can go ahead and fight them, or if you want to be lazy like me and you're using a class that has it, we can stealth right past them. We'll go ahead and interact with the chest that's in the same room as them. Next, we'll go through this entrance and head to the right. Here there's a 3-star mob that's probably going to kill you, but that's alright. Go ahead and put your key in and try to get out. It's definitely possible to get out, but if you're like me, you'll fall just short. But that's alright. We'll come back, we'll loot our body, we'll head up these broken stairs. Here we'll make our way to the chest, opening yet another one. We'll head up just these little stairs right here to our next brazier. Afterwards, we're going to go ahead and head down these stairs here. Jump down here, and we'll be able to open our next chest. We'll make our way back up the broken stairs. This time we're going to go around the other way, though. Do what you can to get to the brazier and interact with it. Then we'll head up these stairs. Head all the way back up and keep going up the stairs. Here we'll run into our good friend, the Ashen Haunt War Mage again. We're going to try and be sneaky and open the chest. But as we've seen before, all it takes is 1 spell and that's enough damage to kill us, so we'll go ahead and go down again. But that's alright, we're done in the tower, so now we'll head back to Emmanuel. Tell him we found the manifest, go ahead and complete that. This will give us enough tokens that we can go back to the vendor and buy everything but one piece. Like I said before, don't bother with a cape, as you're going to go ahead and get a citizen's cape that is significantly better anyway. If you don't die 7 times like me in the tower to broken mobs, then you should be level 10 here, but if not, that's alright. We're going to go ahead and head back to Lion's Hold. Here we'll go ahead and head into the Arc Purifier's tent and accept both the quests that are at his table. We'll go ahead and pick up the purification powder that's in his tent and make our way up to the Warhelm garrison. We'll go ahead and save someone from dying here, especially since we need purifiers anyway. Next we'll pick up this unmarked quest. It'll give us a tattered note that when we interact with will give us echoes of betrayal. We'll pick up another purification powder and we'll light the first of our 6 censures. We'll head up here, save another person from dying. We'll go ahead and head to this room on the right where we can light the next censure. Each of the rooms with a censure will also have a potion in it, so we'll go ahead and pick up another purification powder here. Here we'll also want to start picking up Mother's Aloe and fighting cursed defenders. We'll need 7 of the aloe and 7 of the cursed bone fragments to complete Echoes of Betrayal, so we want to go ahead and start picking all of them up that we can right now. We'll head in here making sure we kill any purifiers that we find, as we need 3 purifier skulls. We're going to make sure to fight any cursed defenders we can find, as we need their bone fragments. After turning that in, he'll offer us 3 quests. We want to make sure that the only one we accept is the one about the cultists. We'll go ahead and light our 3rd censure and pick up another purification powder. We will continue fighting mobs, getting purifier skulls and bone fragments. Next, we'll come over here and light our 4th censure. We'll come over here to fight a few more defenders, as we're still short on a couple bones. In the bottom floor of this room, we can find another censure to light. After we have all 7 of our bone fragments and 7 of our Mother's Aloe, we'll come over here, speak to the Mother, and then interact with the gravestone near her, creating 7 oils. We're going to use these oils to interact with the glowing white runes on the ground, but they have to be done in a very specific order. Our first one will be back over here. The second one will be as far south as we can go. The south room will also have our 6th censure that we need to light. Just want to make sure to grab the nearby potion first. Next we'll head back up north across those bridges, where we'll pour the oil on our 3rd rune. Then we'll head on the top end of this bridge. We'll interact with our 4th, jump down, interact with our 5th, and then head back into this room to get our 6th. Afterwards we'll fight our way up these stairs. We'll go ahead and get random aggro from mobs that we didn't even see. But after fighting our way through the mobs, we'll find our 7th and final rune. After interacting with that rune, we'll go ahead and make our way down back into the ruins of Ayla. Here we're going to make our way to a brazier where we will burn the 3 purifier skulls that we picked up and then head back into Lion's Hold. We'll report all 3 of these quests to the Purifier, which will net us level 10. Now that we have finished everything, you should be level 10 and have a full set of gear other than your cloak, but because you're level 10, you're now able to go become a citizen at any node. There you'll be able to go ahead and do work orders until you get enough tickets to buy your cloak. At this point you should also have over a gold worth of glint, which you can use to get ready to start running caravans, or if you watch one of my later videos I'll show you how you can turn 1 gold into over 200,000 experience. If you'd like to see more guides to leveling and questing, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and head over to my new Discord, the Questing Codex, where I'll be posting written guides to a lot of these videos and trying to solve more quests out in Vera. Thanks for watching and have a good one.